Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that I use in my sewing room that normally would be recycling or trash or whatever. They're things that I have around the house that I would normally discard, but I use them in my sewing room, and I love doing it. It makes me feel good. It also makes me think differently about things, and honestly, these work really well for the things I'm going to talk to you about. Before we dig in, my name is Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. Thank you so much for joining me. The first item is the toilet paper tube. You could also use a paper towel tube. These are great. There are so many uses. I'd love to hear from you on what you would use them for, but I'm going to tell you what I use them for. These are great for wrapping binding, ribbon, any type of elastic. Binding's perfect when you're actually binding a quilt because you can roll it on opposite, so you can roll it off as you're putting the binding on. If you cut a slit in it, you can even keep it secure while you're putting binding on. Love toilet paper rolls. Another thing I use these for, this is great, is if I am going somewhere like to a retreat or class or anything, I'll put my rotary cutter right in here and then maybe a rubber band or something or clips to hold it, and it keeps my rotary blade safe and the blade safe. Now, getting back to the ribbon and binding, these are not acid free, so keep that in mind. You don't want this for long-term storage, but if you're using it right away, it's perfect, even within a few days. It's not going to do anything. The next thing that I keep, I love, is peanut butter lids. So these are just from jars of peanut butter, regular peanut butter. They're plastic. You probably could use any lid, but this is what I like to use. These little things are great as a catch-all. I use one of these every time I clean my machine for putting any of the loose feet or screws or whatever in here, and it keeps it right beside my machine, so as I'm cleaning it I can put things back together. It's great for pins, clips, anything, even little snippets of fabric if you wanted to. You could put charms in here, and it just keeps it all together. Of course, wash them. Make sure that you wash them really well because, you know, there's oil in peanut butter, but they are great. You could also make pin cushions out of these. You could add a magnet. You could use them for all kinds of things. So look at these a little differently and use them in your sewing room. The next one comes from my scrapbooking days. I used to scrapbook all the time. And this was a tip somebody had given me at one of a retreat or something that I was on for scrapbooking. And it's the empty tissue box. It's just, I don't know, this is Puffs Ultra Soft, but you can use any. It's nice when it has this plastic because it keeps things contained. This is great for scraps. And I mean scraps that you're going to get rid of, like really small scraps, threads, anything like that. Keep it right beside your sewing machine and you can put things in here. And then when it's full, if you wanted to, you could throw it out. I know a lot of people don't want to do that, but at least empty it, reuse it as many times. They do start to, you know, get kind of crushed over time, but they are great and they keep everything contained. You could throw the whole thing away. Wouldn't recommend that. I'd rather you recycle it, but if you have to, you could once it's full and stuffed. It's a great way to use something that works as a trash can. It's perfect. Moving on to the next item. We buy a lot of lettuce in this house. We're vegetarians. We buy a lot of lettuce. And this is something that I started doing maybe a year ago, and this is my favorite lettuce. These are great for all kinds of storage. Again, not long term, but if you're going somewhere to a class or retreat, you can put all your stuff in it. I have tried to take the labels off. It doesn't go very well, so I just leave them on there. I'll use it a few times and then I end up recycling it. I mean, just like this is for my next project. And it's just rolls of fabric, scrap fabric. You can put them in here. You can put in thread. I don't know, the thread you're going to use. You can keep everything all together. It's see-through, so you can see what's in there. You can close it if I didn't stuff it so much, but you can see what's in there. You can even label it if you want to. You could stack these up. Again, not long-term storage, but short-term storage, and it keeps them at least a little bit out of the landfill or recycling center. Just extends its life a little bit. And it also makes me feel less guilty about buying lettuce like that. I know, but I love the lettuce. Okay, moving on to the final item, which are pill bottles. These are fantastic. So these are empty pill bottles for prescriptions. These blue ones happen to be for my dog because, you know, my dog had surgery and she's been on all kinds of medications over this past year. You can use the clear ones too. It doesn't matter. I just happen to have these. Take the labels off. You don't want that stuff on there just because of, you know, personal. You don't want that stuff out there in the world and anybody to see. You can also put stickers or washi tape on here if you want to make it look pretty. What I use these for are for my sharps, my needles, and pins, and anything that I need to discard and discard safely. So I use the ones with the safety lids. That way, when I put this in the trash, nobody's going to get hurt. I have these everywhere. I have them in my hand sewing, in my bag for going to retreats or for classes. I have them in drawers. I have them all over the place because I can just grab them and put the pins in them. Every now and then I'll consolidate them all, and usually it fills one of these, and then I will discard it. Also, another thing that you can do with these is to store your bobbins, especially if you're going to a class. Now, I like to use the clear ones for this because then I can see, of course, what colors are in there. And you can put all kinds of little notions in there, the needles for your machine, whatever it might be. And of course, it keeps it secure. It's not going anywhere. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just a lot of fun for me to make and to look around my sewing room and see all the stuff that I do use. I have a few other ones too. Maybe I'll do a second part to it. We'll see. And it's fun to look at things differently, and I encourage you to do so too. Please let me know what you do like this in your sewing room. I'd love to hear, and I'm sure in the comments other people would love to hear it too. It's just a great way to use free items as notions in your sewing room. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you take some time to sew, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.